Donald Trump's train wreck interview with MAGA Fox News host Maria Bartiromo just aired, and it was as utterly disastrous as the preview clip indicated. So disastrous, in fact, there appears to be evidence of hard edits by Fox in the interview. Does that mean that Fox News is deceptively editing interviews with Donald Trump in order to make him look better? Isn't that the sort of allegation that Trump and MAGA and Fox made against CBS in its interview of Vice President Kamala Harris? Isn't that the sort of behavior that prompted Trump to launch a very, very expensive lawsuit against CBS and prompted Trump's own Federal Communications Commissions to launch an investigation into CBS? Is Fox doing the very same thing that it is complaining about in other networks? Perhaps. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, we have several clips to talk about. Starting with this one here, I want you to note, pay close attention, the hard edit.
And hopefully we'll be fine with Canada. I love Canada. Frankly, Canada should be the 51st state, okay? It really should, because Canada relies entirely on the United States. We don't rely on Canada.
Mr. President, tell me about the significance of the Supreme Court ruling.
Did you see that? That hard, he looked like he was about to continue to speak and then stops immediately. One more time.
United States, we don't rely on Canada.
Mr. President.
Hard edit right there. Seems to be a hard edit. What about another clip? Well, there seems to be another clip indicating, again, a hard edit by Fox.
You just had a big success at NATO, getting the members to agree to spend more on defense. Is there anything you can do to get Congress to codify this? To get their governments to codify it?
You can, what you do, the best insurance is if they don't do it, you leave. You don't do business with them anymore. You know, you don't do business. You have to have a certain trust, but you can also say trust but verify. But we're making unbelievable this.
There is litigation.
Did you see that? One more time.
Verify. But we're making unbelievable this.
There is litigation.
Right there. Wow, it sure seems like Fox is editing its interviews with Donald Trump. Again, are they deceptively editing to make him look good? This is a question I pose on Twitter. Wow, is Fox deceptively editing Trump's interview to make him look better? Maybe the next Democratic FCC should probe these instances. Again, given that Trump's FCC, led by MAGA cultist Brandon Carr, is attempting to do the same with CBS over its Vice President Kamala Harris 60 Minutes interview. But we have some other clips to talk about as well, including this one, Donald Trump giving a lecture on uranium enrichment and tacitly admitting that he's a worse negotiator than Barack Obama.
So they had three main sites, and we knew they're going to have to either give them up. And I thought we could do it during negotiation, and we just about had it done. And then they said, we want enrichment. Enrichment doesn't mean like air conditioning, and it doesn't mean to jack up your car. Enrichment is a bad word. And I said, you got so much oil, what do you need that for? And they said, well, we need it. And I wouldn't let that happen. I think people wouldn't have understood it if I allowed that to happen. So we had a 60-day talk, and that delayed them a lot. And then we said, let's go at it.
So Trump resorted to unilateral military strikes against Iran because his negotiation failed, his negotiation to enter some sort of Iran nuclear deal. Now, President Obama succeeded back in 2015 with the JCPOA, and according to all the relevant investigators, including the Trump administration in term one, Iran was compliant. It was working, but Trump just effectively shredded the deal to stick it to Obama. So this entire situation is all Donald Trump's fault 100%, and he failed where Obama succeeded. Here's another clip.
You tweeted, the Democrats leaked an intelligence.
They should be prosecuted.
Who specifically? Do we know who did it? Will you be able to find out?
They could find out. If they wanted, they could find out easily. You know, you go up and tell the reporter, national security, who gave it. You have to do that. And I suspect we'll be doing things like that.
Well, those pilots were so courageous. And, you know.
So there's Trump indicating that he intends to prosecute Democrats, Democratic lawmakers, but really can't provide a compelling reason why. Oh, they leaked. Do you have specific names? Do you have evidence of that they leaked in particular? Nah, but I mean, we could find it. And again, is that also evidence of an edit right here?
And I suspect we'll be doing things like that.
Well, those pilots.
Again, right there, seems to be a further proof of a hard edit there. Was Trump going to talk more about prosecuting Democratic lawmakers? And did that prompt Fox to want to shave off some of his answer, perhaps because it was about to get more unhinged? What does this mean? What does this mean? Interesting. Here's another clip.
Do you think that the Iran regime hid some of the enriched uranium before the strikes?
No, you mean did they take it out of the deep one? No.
Because you were pretty clear you can't have a weapon. You're going to have to come to the talk. Something's going to happen.
I don't think they did. No, I think, first of all, it's very hard to do. It's very dangerous to do.
So this was the preview clip that we discussed in a previous video. No need to revisit the entire thing, but it is important to note, and we might do a separate video about this, is that while Donald Trump contends that there is no enriched uranium that survived the strikes, that is buried beneath a mountain of rubble, one of his most loyal Republican senators, Lindsey Graham, publicly contradicted Trump on live TV today, indicating that, yeah, that enriched uranium is still out there. So, food for thought. Here's another clip.
It costs a lot of money. But I would, one of the things I was thinking about doing, you start waiving them for countries like, if they behave themselves like Iran, where they can sell oil and they can do the things that you want to be able to do. The sanctions are very powerful, and it makes it difficult. I'm not looking to make it difficult. I want them to have.
Oh my God. See, this is the funny thing. MAGA Republicans said that President Biden, during the Biden administration, was looking to empower Iran, to fund Iran, by permitting certain funds to be used for humanitarian purposes, which, by the way, those things were relentlessly tracked. MAGA claimed, oh, Joe Biden's giving Iran $62 billion to do whatever they damn well please. Total bullshit. But now Trump seems to be flirting with the idea of lifting those sanctions on Iran, which, by the way, you could easily make a humanitarian argument for, I will note. But again, note the hypocrisy. I will also note that Donald Trump claimed that he was reconsidering or considering lifting the sanctions just the other day, but then the Ayatollah insulted him or mocked him, and that Trump said, you know what, screw you, I'm leaving the sanctions on. So again, total moral inconsistency, total hypocrisy every which way, but that's classic Trump, classic MAGA. Here's another clip.
One of them signed a paper saying that he would value Mao Zedong's value system. So there was that. And then they hack into our telecom system. They've been stealing intellectual property. Fentanyl, COVID, all of this stuff. So how do you negotiate with obviously a bad actor and trust them on economics?
You don't think we do that to them? We do.
So
just leaving Bartiromo stunned here. Okay, what the hell does that mean? You've been ranting and raving for the past several months about the theft of intellectual property and tariffs and non-tariff trade barriers and all these things about China. Now you're sweeping all that under the rug and say, oh, no big deal. We kind of do that shit too. I mean, again, even if that's true, what is with this like hard pivot? And do you have any sort of moral or principled consistency whatsoever with respect to, Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin? Because he did the same sort of shit during his first term with Vladimir Putin, when people would say, oh, Putin's Russia did X, Y, and Z. Trump would say, oh, you think we're so innocent? We do terrible things too, which we have done terrible things. Again, it's not really, the problem is not the truth of the statement in that particular case. It's just, well, why are you saying that now? Are you saying that you trust Vladimir Putin, or that what Putin's moral failures are acceptable to you? He goes back and forth. Again, no moral consistency. Here's another clip.
Without the United States, the whole world doesn't work.
And you teased a couple of names. You said you have a couple of people in mind
I have
as a
three.
successor to Jay Powell.
They'll all be good, yeah.
But you're not going to do that right now. So why do that? Just to put more pressure on him to come in?
People go, no, because reporters ask me, do you have other names? And I say, yeah, I do. Anybody but Powell.
And would it be Kevin Ford?
He's a bad person. Yeah. Kevin is very talented, but I don't know if it's going to be him.
Kevin Hassett is a MAGA lunatic, one of Trump's top economic advisors. That guy would be just acting purely for what is politically beneficial for Donald Trump and not what's great objective fiscal policy for the United States. So you can be almost certain that during the next election, if somebody like Kevin Hassett were to be in, that they would be dropping interest rates like an MF to try to benefit the economic situation for Americans just before the election in order to advantage J.D. Vance or whoever Trump's successor is. Like, that's the sort of shit you don't want. You don't want a Fed chair who will do that thing specifically to benefit a specific political figure, and that goes for Democrats, by the way. But there again, you have Donald Trump ranting about the Fed chair that he himself appointed. It was Trump's Fed chair. Jerome Powell is Trump's Fed chair. Here's another clip.
Because recently you said, let's ease up on, taking in people who are working, hard working, like in farms and hotels.
I don't back away. What I do have, I cherish our farmers. And when we go into a farm and we take away people that have been working there for 15 and 20 years who are good, who possibly came in incorrectly. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something for farmers where we can let the farmer sort of be in charge. The farmer knows he's not going to hire a murderer. But, when you go into a farm and he's had somebody working with him for 9 years doing this kind of work, which is hard work to do, and a lot of people aren't going to do it, and you end up destroying a farmer because you took all the people away, it's a problem. I'm on both sides of the thing. I'm the strongest.
He is on both sides of the thing. He's talking both sides of his mouth because he wants to have it both ways. The pressure that farmers are feeling at the moment, and just, various businesses in general with Trump's deportation policy, that's Trump's fault. He is authorizing this sweeping, indiscriminate deportation program. That's his fault. And it seems like there's been an internal battle between him and his deputy White House chief of staff, Stephen Miller, who very often seems like he's calling the shots with respect to immigration policy. And Trump has waffled, and he's gone back. He's like, no, we're going to focus on the violent criminals. No, we're going to grab everybody. He goes back, and that's why Bartiromo was pressing him on this. Like, you seem to be waffling. And he's like, no, I don't back off, but I kind of am waffling because I'm on both sides of this issue. Classic Trump. Total incoherence.
This coming up. What are you going to do about the end of the pause in the tariffs?
It's so simple. We're sending letters out. I'd rather do it now. My guys say I have great guys, Scott, Howard, other people, Jameson. They're talking to all these countries. We made a deal pretty much with India. We made a deal with China. We made a deal with UK, great people. We made deals. But I'd rather just send them a letter, a very fair letter, saying, congratulations, we're going to allow you to trade in the United States of America. You're going to pay a 25% tariff or 20% or 40 or 50%. I would rather do that. So when I get
we're not going to extend the pause?
I don't think I'll need to because I could. There's no big deal.
This coming up.
So again, he's moving the goalposts on this. They promised 90 trade deals in 90 damn days. And instead he's like, it's too hard. I'd just rather send a letter. Instead of a bilateral trade deal with the other country, I would just rather impose a unilateral tariff, and that's basically the same thing as a trade deal. So if I can do that 88 times, I get my 90 trade deals in 90 days. Total bullshit. His mouth wrote a check he could not possibly cash. That's the problem. That's the problem. Everyone said 90 deals in 90 days, as you described it, was virtually impossible. And now it seems that that's backfiring as the deadline rapidly approaches. And so he's like, let's just spam a letter out. That'll count. It doesn't count. He's hoping that you grade him on a curve, which would be insane. Don't do it. Donald Trump constantly makes promises to his voters and to the American people. And when he inevitably fails on 99 out of 100, you should hold him politically accountable. One last clip, even though there are dozens more we could play. It's the topic of the TikTok ban.
There's no big deal. It's like TikTok. I'm extending that, but no big deal. We have a buyer for TikTok, by the way. I think I'll need probably China approval. I think President Xi will probably do it.
Who's buying?
I'll tell you in about 2 weeks.
It's the constant 2 weeks thing, everything in 2 weeks. But note what he says. It's like the TikTok extension's no big deal. It is a big deal. You're breaking the fucking law. Even other conservatives have called Trump out on this. We did a video about this like a week ago. He's extended it now for the third time. And the laws passed by bipartisan majorities in both chambers of Congress, signed into law by President Biden, says you can only extend the TikTok pause by 90 days, one time, because you're working out, a situation with a buyer. And he's done it 3 times. He's extended it 3 times. He has flagrantly broke the law. But look at that face. He just doesn't give a damn, and he's hoping you don't either. It's stunning stuff. There you have it, folks. This was a total train wreck interview, and again, such a train wreck. There's evidence of heavy edits by Fox. And again, you have to ask yourself why. Are they deceptively editing the material to make Donald Trump look better? Isn't that the new standard that Trump and MAGA and Fox and Trump's FCC are creating? Like, hey, listen, if you're editing these interviews, you must be doing it deceptively to make, a preferred political figure look better, and perhaps to the detriment of others as well. Maybe this is something that if and when Democrats ever get back into power, they should relentlessly investigate as well. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.